Hello everybody. I hope everybody's doing well today. Today we have this Craftsman 18-inch chainsaw that has a no star problem. This belongs to my friend Eddie also. He picked up the home light that we put the starter cord in, and he dropped this off to me. He said that he lent it to a friend or a neighbor or something like that, and the guy was using it. And then he went to start it, wouldn't start again. So I don't know when that happened. I never asked Eddie when that happened, but what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take this top cover off and see what's going on. It has gas in it. I don't know how old the gas is. It smells a little funky, but I don't know. We're going to see what's going on with it. So I'll begin by pulling the top cover off and see what's going on in there. I've tried to prime it a little bit, and it had air in it, but it seems to have gas now. So it could be something, it could be nothing with this saw. So let's get to it, and I'll pull the cover off. I think it's got 3 screws in it. Nope, it's got more. It's got 4 screws altogether. No, it's 3. Just a little stuck. Make sure you guys can still see what's going on here somewhat. Okay, so we have our air filter cover and our air filter. The air filter doesn't appear to be too bad. I'll blow it out with some air later. So I guess the next thing we'll do is try to start it and see what's going on with it. Pull the choke out, make sure the switch is on. We'll give it a little prime, see what happens then. Put a couple of drops in here. Shut the choke off. That's on, that's off. You just open the choke when you do this. Otherwise the fuel can't get into the carburetor. Yeah, it sounds like it wants to do something. So we got a fuel line and carburetor issue, it looks like. Try to open it, maybe. Pull the spark plug out and see what's going on with that. I'll get the right size spark plug socket and I'll be right back with you. Well, I pulled the spark plug out. It doesn't seem to be fouled, but it kind of smells funky in there. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to drain the gas that's in here into my primer bottle here that we use to prime stuff to get stuff started. And I'll put some fresh gas in it and see where we stand then. Okay, so I dumped the gas out into the primer can there, and here's the fuel filter. So I was dumping the fuel out, gas filter fell out. So we're looking at putting new fuel lines in here. Okay, so we'll start by taking this starter cover off here. The primer bulb is in here. I think it's one of those that clips in there with the 3 fuel lines that come off it. So what I'm going to begin by doing that, I'll take the side cover off here and we'll see what we see in there. It'll take a little while probably to get to the fuel lines. So it's 4 screws holding the starter cover on. And this is clipped into the side cover here. The primer bulb is in here. We're going to have to pop that out and everything. I don't know how far we have to go to take this whole thing apart. I'm going to take this air filter housing off. I think it's 2 10mm screws. And then we'll see what's going on from there. Probably have to disassemble the whole saw pretty much. Okay, so it's a 5/16 socket you need to get these 2 nuts off. And whatever it is in millimeters, I forget. 8mm, 5, I'm not sure. But this fits good on here. So it's these 2 nuts I'm taking off. And plus there was this screw in here you gotta take off. And we should be able to get this housing off after that. Yeah. Then you got the linkage for the choke. You got to undo all that. Okay, this is going to take me a little bit to figure out, but I'll show you what I did. I'm going to have to undo, I imagine, this screw here. This screw here that holds the on and off switch lever here. I'll take that off, and now I'll have to take apart the choke linkage. I'll be right back with you. Okay, so I disconnected this one screw holding in the on-off lever here. So I took this off. I unscrewed it. And then there was another wire going to it here that had a bayonet. But The wire that goes to the lever doesn't, so I just took the whole thing off. And then later on, when we put it together, I'll show you how to put this back on. It's just a little tricky. There's a spring in there. You gotta take a screwdriver and hold it open, and then you can just pop this lever back on. So once I got that off, I was able to take off this other piece here, and then I was able to pop the carburetor off. And I'm going to take a picture of these fuel lines, how they go. Now you got one here that goes to the bulb. There's two of them that go to the bulb, and as far as I know, the one with the big connector part goes into the gas tank, and then there's a smaller one where you put the hose on there that's shorter, and that goes to the carburetor. But I'm going to take a picture of it anyway. There's going to be a part 2 to this, but let me continue taking this apart and get to where the fuel lines go in the tank. Okay friends, there's a lot to take apart here. I took this whole assembly off here. I had to undo the throttle cable. I had to pull this cover off here. There's screws on the bottom of this piece here, the handle. I had to take them off. So far we're up to this point here, and the fuel lines go down into here. So I think I may have to go on and take some more apart, because there's no way my fingers are getting in there to install the new fuel lines. So let's see what happens. Okay, like I was saying before, this is the primer bulb here, and then you got the fuel inlet here. The bigger one, there's two different size fittings here. The bigger one you want to put to the hose that goes into the gas tank, and then the shorter one here you want to put into the carburetor. That goes for everything, for weed whackers, blowers, anything that has this kind of system in. Okay, so after further inspection here, this hose here that goes down into the gas tank, I told you it hooks up to the primer bulb. It only goes in the tank about 1/4 of an inch. Then it has like a fitting on there, so it can't get pulled out. This line seems to be in very good shape, and this line looks like it would be a real pain in the ass to change. You probably have to take the whole complete saw apart, because I can't see how you can get under here to feed the line in there. Okay, so I pulled out the bad part. If you can see where my finger is, I got a bad glare here. Okay, the hole in the top of the tank here is the main fuel line. It comes up and goes to the carburetor. Okay, so I took that all out. This is it here. It broke somewhere down here. This is the broken piece that I dumped out of took out of the tank, where the fuel filter, the first thing that fell off was the fuel filter. So we're going to go ahead and try to change this one line here. I'm going to try to feed it down into the tank, which is still going to be a pain in the ass, but I figure it's a lot easier to change this one. Thank God the other one's in really good condition still. So let's see what happens. Okay, this is the fuel line I'm using. It's real thin and hard to work with, so I tried to slice it, cut a piece out of it so I can make this part thinner here, just to get it in through the tank, and then I may be able to feed it through by sticking in long needle nose pliers into the gas tank fill and grab it and pull it through, and we'll see how it goes. Okay, so the hole, like I said, is down here, and these studs, this stud especially here, is in my way. That's the exhaust manifold here. So what I did was I took the socket off the driver, and I'm using a 1/4 inch ratchet with the socket, and I'm trying to get the bolts out that way because I can't fit the driver in there because it's too much of an angle. Unless I drilled holes, you know, a hole through here and a hole through here. I'm not going to do that. Okay, so I popped off the intake manifold the way I said I was going to do it. And we have much more room here now to feed the line in. And I think we're going to end it here on this one for today. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.